New product release. Our 63-7 dash that we are to make. We've had a request from one of our shops that purchases a lot of our parts to venture into this project with them to be able to use the Holley EFI dash. And so they came up with the idea, they roughed it together for us, and then they set it on our mission to finish it. So the cluster is made go into our dash piece, that you'll see the complete dash, and then the retainer for the back side to hold it in place. When you get this retainer, you're going to see there's still some holes that you got to drill out. So you're going to have to drill out those holes in order to put the retainer in to hold it in. And then there's a reverse bezel that you have to cut the tabs out of the dash and put this reverse bezel in to hold the dash up there, because we had to change the hole position for the dash. So we're going to go ahead and drill everything out and get it assembled, and then we'll come back to showing you what we accomplished. So drilling out the back side of the retainer, the outer perimeter, which is, you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 outer. 5/32 is the size drill you're going to drill that with. And then you're going to have the 6 holes that hold the gauge cluster to this retainer, and they are 5/16. So you have those 6 holes that you're going to drill out. Then you're going to have the indentation that you saw that you have to drill out for the speaker. And then there's another connection that goes in there that you got to drill out. We've already drilled that one and cut this one out, but I had to go in there and sand that just a little bit more to make it fit. So now that we have it fitted, we're going to screw it together. Okay, so now we have our gauge cluster bolted in place with the 6 fasteners, which are provided by Holley, to the back of our retainer. And we have it set in place, as you can see, and we taped it in place. So we're going to come back to our holes that we drilled with 5/32, which is our smaller holes. We're going to come back and drill a 3/32 into the housing itself. And in our housing, when we bond these together, there's bonding material that's squirted down into there. So that's what's going to create your threads. You'll see as we're putting these fasteners in, don't get carried away and over tighten them, because you'll strip it out. But you're cutting your threads as you're putting them in there. You got to put the last 2 in, and then we'll work on the retainer. So we're fitting our retainer to our dash, goes on the back side of it, like this. Okay, and so the provisions are there where all the holes got to go into your clips. And so we're going to drill this out, get that fastened into place. You'll see up in this top corner where there's still a little flashing left on the bezel. We don't want to take all that off until you have it and you're ready to take it off, because it makes kind of a thin part and we don't want it to break on us or you. And believe me, once that's bonded into the dash, it's going to be plenty strong. So we'll notch that, we'll get our holes drilled, our fasteners ready to show how to put this retainer in. So we have our 4 holes drilled 3/16 to accommodate our screws. Got to have a little wiggle room for those screws. So now we're going to come back with our countersink, going with the 3/16. So now we like the way the screw lays in there. So we'll do the countersink on all 4 of them. Then we'll get the retainer positioned in there, is what we're going to drill out next. And we're going to drill all those holes out in a 1/4 inch. So they got a little wiggle room with our retainer we'll put in there. This is the U-nut that we're using on this retainer. 20582 Alvico. Number 8 screw is what's going in there. The number 8 screw that we're using is a 2775. It has that cute little washer in there that spins that won't tear up the clear coat or the paint color that you use. Try to think everything through the best that we can. Next step, I've taken it back apart and removed the gauge cluster. Then I reassembled it so we don't have the weight of the gauge cluster in there. Gauge cluster is pretty heavy. So now then you sit the whole assembly back inside the dash. Made myself a little block of wood just to hold that tail up a little bit. So when it gets bonded, everything gets bonded square. It's not hard to do. I did it on a bandsaw. So if we're building a car, we got the tools. If we don't have the tools, you got to think about that. So now you see I have it positioned. Next step is I'm going to remove it and I'm going to tape off our dash. So if any of our bonding material oozes out on that dash, it doesn't stick to the dash. It only sticks to where I want it to stick. And while I have it apart, I'm going to sand the inside of this bonding strip, this retainer bonding strip, so when we bond it in place, it'll hold. As you can see on the back side of the dash, had to remove the original tabs for the original cluster, and so I've already ground all that and prepped that back side up, so that's good to go. We'll come back after we're ready to refit it again. Okay, so we have our Holley EFI gauge cluster housing masked off. We've prepped our bonding strip retainer, reinstalled it to the gauge cluster, wiped it down first with acetone, along with the back side of the dash is wiped down with acetone, and you'll see when you set this in there that it pretty much snaps into place, and you'll see the top of the dash itself right here, and that's the retainer right there. So the gauge cluster is right below that dash and sitting in there snug as a bug. So taking the outside and marked it so we can make sure we have it centered. Once we have our epoxy in there, then we'll sit it back down with our little wedge to hold that tail up, and we'll get our epoxy put in here and we'll walk away from it until tomorrow. We're almost finished here, guys. Time to put it together. So we're getting one of our tubes set up to go. I never thought in 100 years I would go for a tube. Okay, so we'll save our two little ends, our black end and our blue end, because when we're done here, we're going to put the ends back in there. And so we're just going to get this bad boy going, get it mixed, just squirt a little bit out to make sure it's mixed good. And now we're going to go over to our part. I chose to use the gun mainly because I can get back in there a lot easier than otherwise. So I'm just going to start on the top here, and I'm putting the tip in there, so it's squirting it in there about a ½ inch back. I do believe there's enough gap when we're done that we can come back and squirt more in there if needed, but I don't want to get too excessive. So if you come over my left shoulder, you can see where I'm bringing that epoxy to. And so we're not getting real crazy with it, because I don't think we need to. That's the nice thing about, I can say about, this is my first time using the gun. You can control it, make it a lot smaller. So we have it on the bezel, and I always like to put it on both pieces, whatever I'm gluing together. So now I'm going to come and put it on our bonding strip, and I drew a line where I wanted it, so I had to remember not to get too carried away with it. So hit the button, take the pressure off. Now we're just going to sit our dash right back inside of here. I'm going to lay it flat, and my little jig that I put to hold up the tail, and you can see it where it's oozing out just a little bit, and the dash just went in like it's supposed to. You see how that snapped down into place? It's bottoming out right here. So we got it bottomed out. I'm going to come back and shoot a little more epoxy in there, not to get too carried away, just enough to fill in the void. Now we just come back with one of our little tongue depressors, spread that out to make it look neat, even though nobody's ever going to see it. Still got to do it right, because the guy doing it knows what it looks like. So you can see where if any of it popped out along the side, you can come back and grab it. Part of the reason why I put a glove on was so I can put my finger down in there, just run my finger across that back edge, and I can feel it on my finger, and you can see it. So it's finishing that off. Two great things about epoxy. One, it takes a long time to kick. Usually a good 8-hour cycle, depending on temperature. But you know what it's doing, it's biting in, it keeps biting in. It's going to get a bond that nothing else will get a bond on. I got that, oh, I forgot one thing, is we got to check our measurement, our markings on the front side. I had marked it, you saw in the earlier video, I just wanted to make sure my lines lined up, because I just turned it, because I knew it wasn't right, but my lines are right. So it gives you a pot life, you got a nice pot life, you're not rushed. Pot life is great. And the bonding materials, the bonding capability, the way that it bites in, it's like a tiger. It just keeps biting until it gets to where it wants to go. But you have to be patient with it. It's bonded, walk away from it, go to your next project. You got to have something else to do. I know I do. Oh, one last thing we probably should do is take care of our epoxy gun. So since I got some epoxy on my hands, because I took my gloves off. I'm going to put another set of gloves on to take that gun apart. Now we got to figure out how to get this thing apart. Okay, didn't take much. So we're going to take our tip out of here. Unfortunately, you lose what's in the tip, but in previous videos you've seen where we've done on these, you don't lose that much. Clean top of your tip off. Put the black side back on the black side, and put the little blue side on the blue side. And then we'll put the knobber thing back on. And we got a new tip for the next time. But for now, we're done. It's almost lunchtime. And you know the girl makes lunch every day. She takes care of us. And so that's where we're headed. We'll come back to you on Monday morning. This is a Good Friday. Or not Good Friday, but our Red Friday, I should say. And we'll always participate in our Red Friday. Thanks for watching. Okay, DJ.